its passage has been hindered, obstructed. Sometimes you see the people continue to grow, they are very intelligent. When it comes at the emotional level, they are very immature. They have not attained the emotional maturity. And unless and until an individual attains the emotional maturity, the journey cannot continue further. Many people you see, they are emotionally very, very immature. They do not understand the very nature of the emotions. In emotions, the other becomes a mirror. When the two people are interacting with one another, the two becomes mirror to reflect the inner growth of each one of them. And when you look into the mirror, you see your own image. It is the relationship that determines how far you have grown into your awareness. When you are interacting with a person, when husband and wife are interacting with one another, the wife may say that I am a great devotee of God, I love God plenty. The ego will be elated because it says and there is no hurt in it. But when you love another individual, a human being, it takes a lot from you. You have to, at times, subside or put your ego between your tails. Allow your ego to be non-operative. Only then the journey of the love can continue. So then and only then you can see how far you have progressed inwardly. Aurobindo has said somewhere, it is very easy to say that you love God, but you cannot love God without loving His creation. You have to begin the journey of love saying that I love God by loving His creation. That is the test of a humanity, test of an individual. Parikshit's energy got stuck. There is no more movement. It is Dauman, which is symbolized by a dead snake. He hangs it around the neck of the sage, symbolizing that this is the center where his energy is stuck. He goes into the forest when he heard of that curse inflicted upon him, and he started fasting and rituals. This is what is the understanding of every individual. The moment somebody hears that he has to do something or he has some problems, he begins to fast, he begins to read and things like that, the ritualistic fasting and things. But that is not going to help or take the person far away. Same time, the sage, the son of the composer of the Bhagavad, of the scriptures, Veda Vyas, comes in. And so, seeing the sage, he asked him, he was a very young person. Parikshit was older, and some say that his age was 5 years when he narrated Bhagavad Quran, some say it was 16, or whatever it is, he was of a young age. Symbolizing that knowledge is not confined to age. Knowledge is an expression of innocence. And when we say the age of the 5 years, it is symbolic of the innocence of the person. As a child, you are innocent. As you continue to grow into the mannerism of the outer world of duality, your innocence begins to disappear. This is why in the scriptures, when we are taught about our gods and goddesses, they are shown very young, almost being the symbol of perennial youth, symbolizing the innocence. When you look at the mental sons of the Creator, the 5 Kumars, Sanat, Sanatan and Sanat Kumar, they roamed around the universe as hermits, looking like 5 or 6 year old boys. So Sut is 8 symbolizes innocence, as innocence is synonym with awareness or understanding. And Parikshit asks the question that he has to die in 7 days, bitten by the snake. And instead of explaining him the many stories, philosophy or anything, he explains to him the anecdotes, the story of those people, how they have lived. Because it is the life of these people that creates guidance for the humanity. Someone has said, Robert Frost has written a line with Jawaharlal Nehru, the first Indian Prime Minister, has quoted those lines on his biography. The woods are lovely, dark and deep. I have miles to go before I sleep. The woods are lovely, dark and deep, and I have miles to go before I sleep. It is the life of the great men that reminds us and makes our lives sublime, because that is where we draw our life force of energy. He speaks to him about the story of 10 incarnations. These incarnations are symbolic of the journey of consciousness, how the consciousness grows. The first incarnation is the water-based. It's a fish that lives in the ocean, and when you look at the fetus, the growth of the individual, the first picture of the fetus is that of a fish that is floating in the placentine mother's womb, and the fish floats in the water, in the ocean. Then comes the 7 incarnation, which is of a tortoise, which is amphibian, can live equally in the water and that on the earth. The theory of evolution continues, which much later was explained by Charles Darwin. But he has explained it in the scientific terms, and long before it has been explained in the mystical terms. These are all symbolic, and the sage explains to Parikshit through these stories and prepares him for the final day, the death, which is going to happen in 7 days. All these are symbolic. Nowhere, anywhere, the philosophy is explained. It is explained the ways of the means, the life story of those people of the past in a sequence. First, the explanation of the life, the 10 incarnations of Vishnu. Then the 8th incarnation is explained, that is of Krishna, is explained in the 10th canto or 10th chapter in much more detail, which carries nearly 1/4 of the scripture. Now, in this particular the scripture which I am going to explain this morning is from Ashtavakra Gita. Ashtavakra comes from 2 words, Asht and Vakra. Vakra means curves and Asht means 8. His body was curved at 8 places. This is a symbol. You may not find anyone whose body is curved at 8 places. Sometimes you may have seen the people with certain deformities. Simultaneously, the hands and the feet is deformed. But deformed at 8 places is symbolic. It is symbolic that he has effectuated all the centers of along the life, the passage of the life's energy are fulfilled. With that, he has reached to the state of enlightenment even at that stage. He at the age of 8, he has attained the status of a master, because master does not need any age or a particular way of looking, but the mind finds that the master should look like this, look like that. A Sufi story goes on. A man, he was a seeker, he came to a master who was a young person. He said that I want to master. Then the Sufi gives him the explanation how the saint look like. He will be of this age, long beard,